Alright, timestamp is May 23rd, 2026, a little bit after 10 p.m. Just took my shower. My drawers were open. Kitchen, never. I was researching and listing Beanie Babies. Yay. Finished going through all the potential Beanie Baby totes in the loft based on the numbering system that my dad was using. Should be, if we're mathing right, at least 80. If we found they're basically A1 through we think 30, B1 through we think 30, and we did find one that was labeled C21. So I mean, if he was following that as a standard, that means 81. And we weren't checking every one, so there might be a C22 or a C26 or God knows. But suffice to say, that's at least 80. Because math. I gotta share this. I thought it was funny. Kind of adorable, made me feel bad for a brief moment, and then everything was okay. So when Pix and I were working, when I was working at the tree, I basically was able to get my kid Alex a job there. On the condition that he would not be working under me. I was to have no interaction with him while he was there. So there could be no, hi Queenie, no presumption. Hello again, Queenie, trying to kill me. It's a minefield in here. No one could at any point say, there's favoritism. No interaction, he was not under my command, anything of that nature. He was under the control of Q, who I trust with my soul. So, you know, I know I'm doing what you're not supposed to do with Q-tips. The Johnson & Johnson police will be here any moment. So, that is backstory. I picked up the French vanilla Aldi brand coffee. Scrappy, I promise you won't actually fit in my rectal passage. As much as you might try. Do you have a dorsal fin? Did I miss something? In the Aldi coffee, they do have the normal plastic wire band thing, but they also typically have a strip of tape that kind of holds it down. Alex saw it up in the cabinet and was like, ooh, vanilla coffee. And used the packing knife to cut the tape, only he missed. And he cut a slice across the bag. Didn't, spew coffee anywhere or anything like that. He came to me when I got up and he was like, thought about this because I'm making some more of the vanilla. We've been hitting it hard. It's like not even half a bag left. He brought the bag over. Dad, I'm really sorry. I missed, and I cut the bag. Nothing spilled. It's higher than the level of the coffee, but I cut the bag. I was trying to cut the tape, and I was like, "You cut the bag instead of the tape. That's it. Turn in your packing knife. Call yourself a freight monkey. You'll never work in this town again." And he just kind of looked at me like, "Oh man, I really messed up." And it's like, "Kiddo, calm down. Calm down. Dad was messing with you. Many years of being freight monkey, and we've all done it. We have all done it." I didn't tell him this because that was kind of enough, and I think I'd already traumatized him just that little bit. Sometimes autism, sometimes he doesn't quite know where I'm coming from. I try and autocorrect as quickly and as smoothly as I can, but it doesn't always work. My most amazing oops was I was putting away, if you've ever been to Dollar Tree, you know they've got like, I don't know that it's a 3-liter, but it's almost a 3-liter of soda. This is, other than self-inflicted wounds, this is my most dramatic oops with a packing knife story. The bottles of soda typically come in it's a cardboard tray with a plastic shrink wrap, like an Easter basket, shroud kind of thing. Usually, 6, 2 by 3, rectangular kind of tray. They are heavy because you're basically carrying 6 3-liters. I wasn't thinking on this particular occasion. I remember it was the orange soda. We were just talking the other day about how your failures, you remember those. Cut across the plastic, and I went too hard, and I cut into 3 liters of orange soda with my knife. And yes, because they're pressurized, I had some Old Faithful action going on in the drink aisle. Oops. I managed to get them off the sales floor before I needed to bring out a mop and bucket, but it was shooting everything in the vicinity, nice straight line, times 3. Like a demonic sprinkler. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. So sorry about that. Let me get a washcloth. I'll wipe that down. Yeah, it was very much a ooh. I think Q did actually smack my hand for that one. Like, let me see your hand. Don't do that again. Felt like an idiot. Let me get this open. Oh, shit. But yeah, I made it okay with Alex. He was initially like, "You'll never work in this town again, see?" Oh yeah, it is still raining outside. Wasn't sure if it was or not, but I just heard it. Nope, that's Zybots. Oh, man. But yeah, I was pricing, listing, becoming an expert on what to look for with Beanie Babies, looking over price guides, notes about rarity. Not the pony. Anybody's interested in that particular thought question? Of course I like Pinkie Pie. I do like Applejack a lot, though. Her work ethic, I respect the hell out of that. Very Capricorn. But yeah, Pinkie Pie. They're the two sides of my coin. I get it. On stage, not on stage, you know. Yeah. Got a bunch listed. Making notes because it's almost like there's 80 totes. There's so many of each. Here's the thing. Some of it's kind of organized. Like, I found one tote that has a bear called Decade, and it's like a 2000 bear, and it comes in different colors, but it has like confetti. It's like a New Year bear. Decade, you know. And there's one that's like yellow, one that's white, and they all have like a confetti design. My mom bought entire packs of them, which that I have one handy that I can show you. The packs are, I don't actually know, I didn't actually count. I think it's like 20. It's like almost the size of like an old school newspaper bag, and it's like 2 rows of maybe 10. I want to say it's probably 20 in a pack. She's got quite a few packs, clearly bought right from the distributor. She was buying direct. But like she has like a pack of the blue Decade, a pack of the white Decade, a pack of the red Decade, yellow, because they did like 5 or 6 different ones. So that one's fairly easy because they're all together. But I have found some Decades in other boxes. That's about, in those situations, that's the only time it's actually organized or separated. Otherwise, we're finding, you know, this particular moose in, you know, like 12 different boxes. You know, there's 2 in this one, there's 10 here, there's only 1 over here, 3 in that one. We don't have the space to try and sort it. Exactly. You know what I mean? To like empty all 80 totes and sort it. That ain't happening. So what I'm doing is just kind of keeping brief notes. I've got like an under $5 list. You know, 1998 Fortune, it's a panda. 1998 Halo, it's an angel bear. 1998 Glory, it's a bear with a flag on it. You know, but then I've got some that are over $5, and I'm probably going to list them for, because the under 5 ones I'm going to put like in bundles, you know, like 5 for 20 kind of thing. And the other ones I'm probably going to list independently for like 5 or 10. I'll probably list them for 10 as an auction, and then if it doesn't sell, I'll do them as buy it nows and just start walking the price back every week. You know, okay, well, you give me 8. No, how about 7? Is that the sweet spot? And then just stop at 5. I have a plan. I've done this before. I was not anticipating doing this large of a sale as this, but I seem to have been not given much of a choice. So, yeah, taking notes. Got a bunch prepped. Yeah. Already got a bunch up too, but as an example, there's 5 different ones in here. It's, I think, a Valentina Spangle, I think, one of the, like, bicentennial bears. That's Lefty. They did Lefty and Righty, a donkey and an elephant. Yeah, that's what you think. Um, yeah. So I'll be putting that up. That'll be one of my first things tomorrow. Pull them all out of the bag, photograph the group, turn them, make sure you can see the tush tag, which sounds dirty, but it's not. Got like 10 of those prepped, different bears and things in them. And then I'm just going to start going through. It's funny because I had a friend that was like, you know, you really shouldn't share like money stuff with people online. It's like, if someone wants to try and track me down to steal the Beanie Babies, there's bigger game out there to work with than me and an attic full of plush. I'm not too worried about that. Like, I started some bigger batches. So I'm going to do some, like 15 beanies for like 50, I think. Because there's just so many damn many. What these 2 totes are, these are some of the ones that Pix and I were like, ooh, I like that. Because, you know, we're dorks, you know. Cute little polar bear named Peppermint, but for some reason when I look at him, I want a nice cold Coca-Cola. Weird, right? And then I've got a couple of... This is not actually how I feel about them exactly, but it's easier to carry them out this way. Got a couple of trash bags over here with just I've got probably 300 or 400 Beanie Babies right there in those 2 trash bags. Guessing. My spatial sense is pretty good though. Probably 300 or 400. Closer to 4. Because we did empty, I don't know, 7 totes maybe? But, yeah, no, it's just annoying because I already wasn't running out of things to list, you know. I didn't have a product famine. We've still got huge amounts of inventory that we wanted to list because we're trying to, thin the herd, get rid of stuff we don't want to keep. Both of us are going to be going back through our comic book collection, our personal collections, and really deciding what we care about. I'm keeping my X-Men run. I'm keeping my Daredevil run. I'm keeping my Green Lantern run. There were a lot of like side shot Green Lantern stuff, different like Guy Gardner series and stuff like that. Meh. There's some single eps here and there that we'll, I'm sure, keep. I've got a couple of like early Iron Mans. I'm gonna hang on to those. And there were a couple of other series as while we were running the shop that I fell in love with. Saga is bizarre, but I might be willing to sell it. I've got a bunch of the early Saga. I'm not going to sell my Morning Glories, though, unless I have doubles, which I think I do. Morning Glories, really cool. Methinks. A couple independent comics. You know, I'm not going to sell my Walking Deads unless I have doubles, which I know I do. You get me. But, you know, I've got a bunch of long boxes of comics, and I want to try and trim that down to a few boxes of comics. Because I'm not going to be getting back in, you know, the industry. Unlikely. You know, if the wind takes me that way, then I'll do it. I wasn't expecting to open a hobby store to begin with. I wasn't opposed to it because, you know, a lot of the stuff that is sold within that kind of four-wall environment is stuff that I like, that makes me happy. So, pretty okay with it, but definitely wasn't. I never thought that would be something that I would do. It happened by accident. An accident. Kind of true. Yeah, we're doing our Gorf mug, trying to stay motivated. I'm pretty motivated. I'm a self-motivated person. But there is an overwhelming amount of Beanie Babies. Now, there are a lot of Princess Bears, which that's the one everybody always asks about. But I'm seeing a lot of price discrepancies on stuff. The more official price guide online does have a Princess Bear. It has to be like, the tag has to have certain things on it. There's like 6 different versions of the Princess Bear. The Princess Bear is a purple bear with a white rose, and it was a Princess Diana commemorative bear. It was a big deal, and there were rumors that there were shortages, but there actually apparently weren't. So people were buying them up, and they were overpricing things, and it has, from the beginning, been many of the prices have been questionable. It started out that way. It's kind of like Spawn #1, except people figured it out eventually. That guy fooled a lot of people and made a lot of money. He hustled the industry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I think he felt pretty screwed over for not having ownership of Venom. I think that kind of motivated and pissed him off a little bit. Exactly. But yeah, I gotta get through these Beanie Babies because I'm swimming. I'm swimming, man. Unbelievable amount. It's an interesting thought problem. Because she does have some of the larger beanies. I think they're 14.5 inch is the larger size. There were a few totes up there which were nothing but those guys, but by and large it's mostly the smaller ones. Curious, how many can you fit in a medium tote? 150 maybe? I don't know. It's a thought question, right? Yeah, if it's 150, just spitballing, there's probably at least 10,000 Beanie Babies. That may not seem like a lot, but then again, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know what your perspective on things is. What I'm telling you is, oh, wow, that's a lot. And a lot of them are worth, you know, $3. Or we can go Better Off Dead if you want. Going back to Better Off Dead. I won my $2. It's a really funny 80s movie that I know my girl has seen. I know I've seen it. We might be the only two people. I'm kidding. It's not true. No. Thought we were about to have offspring. My kid, not the band. Yeah, gotta get through the beanies because holy cats. I feel that way, Tanner. It's true. Okay. And in keeping up with, I'm going to go to bed here in a few. I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee because it is spectacular. But in keeping up with the Colbert questionnaire thing that I said I was going to do, I'm going to do it, damn it. The second question is, what was the first concert that you attended? And this answer is interesting, kind of ish. The first concert that I can remember attending was Elvis Presley. My mom was a big fan. It was 1976, and the whole family went. And I do remember seeing Elvis in concert. I've still got like a pennant, like one of those flags with a photograph like glued on it, whatnot. I've still got one of those floating around somewhere from it. I think it was 76. But yeah, and that's the first one that I remember. I know also when we moved down here in the late 70s to Florida from Pennsylvania, we used to go all the time to the Strawberry Festival and the Florida State Fair, and they had a much more free-flowing country music concert kind of series that they did, where it wasn't like tight security, don't come near the star, stay back. It was very mingly. So we went to a lot of that stuff. My mom was a big fan of like the older country music, Barbara Mandrell, Tammy Wynette. She kind of crushed on Mac Davis and Larry Gatlin. Actually, at this point you could tell my dad because he might not even know any of those names, including Mom. True story. But yeah, we saw the Statler Brothers, the Oak Ridge Boys, Barbara Mandrell, the Mandrell Sisters, Alabama, a lot of like up and coming and even big names. I saw Dolly Parton there one time. Didn't talk to her. I did actually talk to the Mandrell Sisters as a young lad. I talked to the Statler Brothers. I talked to the Oak Ridge Boys. I met them. I don't know if my mom ever got like autographs or whatnot. I haven't found anything around here, but it wasn't as big a thing, and I was just like, 8, 9. It was cool, live music, and then meeting the performers and like, shaking hands with and talking to. It was pretty cool. But did a lot of that when I was a wee child. The first concert that I ever chose to go to, paid for the tickets myself, was I don't know if it was in the late 80s. It was 87, 88, maybe 89, somewhere in there. It was the Monkees and Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic maintained that the Monkees closed for him, but in fact, Weird Al Yankovic opened for the Monkees. Yep. And it was a pretty great show. Mike Nesmith did not appear. This is when he was still very much in the I Hate You All place. Um, but I did get to see Davy and Peter and Mickey, who is the last monkey. Man, that's weird. That's weird. I grew up. I have their albums. I have like 4 or 5 vinyls. Got them at flea markets. They were hard to find. But yeah, I have like 4 or 5 Monkees vinyls. I have a couple CDs and cassettes and stuff like that. Watched the TV show. Was a fan. Yeah, I saw Weird Al Yankovic, who I want to say started out his set with Like a Surgeon. I want to say that's how he opened. But yeah, it was honestly kind of half and half. Nope, false alarm. Because I know sometimes an opening act will do like a really abbreviated set. They were about half and half, like an hour and an hour. It was a really good show. A really good show. I went with a buddy of mine. I'll use his real name. Grew up around him, went to school with him, Tom, and we had dates. I will leave their names out. But he was also a pretty big Weird Al fan, and I think he at least liked the Monkees. So yeah, did that, and then we went to a very nice, which I'm sure is closed now, French Cajun restaurant. I want to say it was at Ruth Eckerd, and I could be wrong about that. It was a long time ago. I have the program for it somewhere, so I could look it up. I'm not going to this second because I have no idea where that is. It's probably at George. But yeah. Yeah, the first concert that I chose to go to, paid for tickets, whatnot, was Weird Al, the Monkees. And I have seen other shows since then, but yeah. I was 17 or 18. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. You probably look it up online to figure out what year it was. I don't remember. And it's not because of narcotics or anything like that. It's just, it was a long time ago. I don't really remember. It's a good show. Anywho, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to grab a nap. I've got some Peter Davison Blu-rays over there. Not sure what episodes are on that particular set. It's like season 2 Peter Davison. I think Modern Undead is one of the ones in the lineup. I'm not sure if that's the first one or not. I'm going to be starting, basically that season. Watch that through over the next week or two. That'll be my glorious white noise. First, I'm going to yawn. You can't stop me. Get up tomorrow, hopefully, right? I need to do my own laundry. That's my junk towels that just got done in the dryer. I switched out the towels. I need to do dishes out, dishes in, and then I'm going to be listing some Beanie Babies, I think. I'm just in the mood, Yeah. $80. Yeah. Again, if we understand the coding system my dad was using, we did clock what would have been the 81st tote. there may be some that we just didn't realize at the time that we were looking at that were beyond that one. There was a C-21, so I know there's at least 81. Medium-sized totes. What is it, a 30-gallon? Like the big pink ones I have, like that. Yeah, we're good. We don't really need any more right now. Thank you. Thank you for your offer. Nope. Some of the stuff that I'm dealing with, this isn't so much a complaint, it's just kind of a, it's going to sound whiny, and honestly, it's my sense of humor. I look at this stuff and I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. This is such a ridiculous situation that I'm in. What the actual... I have 81 totes of Beanie Babies. Maybe more. I'm willing to bet that's probably a C-23 or some shit. It's just like, what? Okay. Sure. This sounds like fun. Oh, I wish I were making it up. I'm a good writer. You know, those ideas that are so crazy, you don't write it down because you're like, there's no way anybody's going to buy this. You can't suspend disbelief for this shit. Anywho, yeah. Oh, I'm still not AI, by the way. I can do that kind of stuff just to, mess with people a little bit here and there, but I'm an actor, so I have a certain set of skills. I guess would be a good way to put it. Thanks, Liam. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yep. Coffee, Peter Davison, some Tegan, some Nissa, and chores and Beanie Babies. That's what the dawn brings. Very excited by this. Anyway, I apologize for that one too. So, hug your parents, ask them not to buy 81 totes worth of Beanie Babies. Ask nicely, beg, plead if you must. Hug your kids, tell them that you won't buy 81 totes worth of Beanie Babies. Light a candle for me. And, yeah. See, I got a sense of humor about all this. Sure. Yeah, it's 81. Yeah, let's do it. It's fine. Bring some more in. Come on. Anyway. Oh, for God's sake. Make it a great day.